welcome to Paradise Estates Realty.
The Dream Team.
You like that, don't you?
Oh,
girls?
yeah, I like that. I like that.
The girls like it too, they told us. Well, today we're talking to for sale by owners, and we're answering that question for them. Do I really need a seller's residential sales disclosure form? Well, there are 3 myths, and we're busting all 3 of them.
And digging deep to pull them up.
Yes. First of all, what is a residential sales disclosure form? I have one right here. It's this little form. It's got all kind of check marks on there. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that well?
They
might. Well, what it does is it tells everything that's right or wrong with the property that you're selling. It has about 4 columns here. It says that either something is included, is defective, is not defective, or you just don't know. It's asking things about microwave ovens, your water heater, your roof, how old it is, things like that. So this needs to go with the sale of your home. It's a seller's residential sales disclosure form. It tells all that you know is right or wrong with your property. So do you need one? You're selling it by yourself. Do you need one? That is the question.
Well, we're going to talk about 3 myths. Myth number 1. I'm selling my property as is. I don't need one of those. You still need one. And even though you're selling as is, you still need to go down the list and let the householder or the person that's buying the property know what's right, what's wrong. Because they can take you to court and it can come back on you. Mm-hmm. Because they trust that you're telling them what's right and what's wrong with that property.
And that's even after you sell it. Because people
absolutely.
think, well, hey, it's sold.
I'm done with it.
I got my money. I'm moving on. No. They can come back after the sale is closed.
They have came back in.
They have.
Yes.
Myth number 2. I'm leasing this property with an option to buy. I don't need a sales disclosure form. That's a myth.
Absolutely.
When you lease it or rent it, no, you don't need a sales disclosure form. But when you put on there lease with an option to buy, when you put that option to buy on there, now it changes the terms of the agreement. Now you have a potential buyer. And so you need to provide them with a sales disclosure form. Now, on the other hand, buyers, caveat emptor.
Say that word again. I like how you said that.
Caveat emptor.
Now tell us what it means.
That means buyer beware.
Oh, yes.
You need to be aware that there may be some problems with the property that even the owners don't know about. So get a whole house inspection so that you are aware what's going on with that house, even if it says as is. Because if there's some major things going on, the as is does not apply.
Absolutely. Myth number 3. No one is exempt from providing this seller disclosure form. That's not true. For example, a bank selling a foreclosure or bankruptcy property, they do not need to provide a seller disclosure form.
No. Also, if you're an administrator of an estate, just say my uncle asked me, if something happens to me, then I want you to administer the property, sell it for me or whatever. Then once I get ready to sell that property for the estate, I wouldn't need a sales disclosure form because I'm exempt from it. I don't know what's going on with that property. I'm just the executrix. So that's another reason you would be exempt from a sales disclosure form.
Another one is from co-owner to co-owner. For example, let's say my brother and I, we own this property together. Now I want to transfer my ownership totally to him. A seller disclosure form is not needed.
Another situation where you won't need a sales disclosure form is from one spouse to another. Now, let's say we own this house together, but I've decided I want to give all my interest to Ed.
And you want to do that, right?
But if I did want to do it, then I wouldn't need a sales disclosure form to do that.
No.
That's another situation in which we would be exempt from a sales disclosure form.
Absolutely.
So those are 3 myths that we just bust. Myth number 1, you're selling it as is and you don't need a sales disclosure form, that's not true. That's a myth. You do. Myth number 2, you're leasing it with an option to buy. I don't need a sales disclosure form. You do.
Yes. Myth 3, no one is exempt from providing one. That's not true. We know banks, they do not need to provide one for you.
Exactly. So the bottom line is that just be truthful. When you're selling your property, be truthful and transparent as possible. Because when you do that, then you don't have a buyer that's disgruntled. They come back feeling like, you told me, this, and you told me that. And, just be as truthful as you possibly can. And there's some things you just don't know. So then you just put, I don't know.
and really the key is disclose, disclose, disclose. That's something that they drill to us, real estate agents. Mm-hmm. Make sure that is done.
Yeah, just disclose all that you know. And to be safe, get a real estate attorney or a real estate professional like us.
That's us.
We can help you. Yeah, we can help you get through this process so you don't have any legal problems come back on, later. So we'll be happy to assist. The number, the email is at the bottom of this video. So please give us a call if we can help.
Yeah. And remember, next week, we're going to talk about what is involved in a purchase contract. Now, talking about negotiating, that's my thing, girl.
He think he all that.
Oh, yes. Come on now. Give it to me. Give it to me.
Yeah, he's really good at it, though. But we'll be talking about that next week, is how to deal with a purchase contract and some very important parts to it. Because sometimes people go right to, like Staples or store like that and get a purchase contract. Well, we just want to make sure that you're covered. And then if you're a buyer, you want to make sure what needs to be in there for you. So next week is going to be for buyers and sellers. Thanks for joining us today. If you like what you heard, then give us that little thumbs up. Share it. Tell people about us. Comment. We like to hear your comments and if there's some things you want us to cover. But until then, see you next week.
Yes. Call you. See you.